Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another gameplay replay analysis. So today's one we're going to be looking at KheZu's offlane Dark Seer. Dark Seer has a pretty high win rate in pubs right now, especially in the Divine bracket, which is like 55% almost. So we should probably see how this hero gets played. I think it's a very solid offlane hero to learn if you want to be a good offlane player, myself included. So without further ado, let's check it out. So once again, we'll skip right over to his starting item builds. Right, select player perspective. Alright. Okay, so we can take a look at his... Oh my god, alright, this guy is a professional Dark Seer spammer. He's got all the relics unlocked. He's level 16, so you know this KheZu has a lot of experience on this hero. So we'll go and take a look at his skill builds, item builds, his playstyle, etc. Nice set, by the way. Alright, so that's out of the way. Let's take a look at what actually he goes for. He starts off with 6 tangos. I think it's very important. I think Speed mentioned on Game Leap, one of their videos, that as if you are starting the game with less than 6 tangos, you're doing something wrong. And I think it's actually very good advice. Definitely get at least 6 tangos, guys. Always very important, especially as an offlaner, to get as much regen as possible. Because you're gonna be in one of the hardest lanes in the game. You don't wanna be caught out without regen and then you end up feeding, or you have to go back to base, which is both really bad. Next, he has a stout shield for the damage block. You already have 4 armor, which makes you, semi-tanky. And of course the 3 mangoes, because you want to keep spamming out the ion shell, because this spell lets you push out waves, lets you harass, lets you farm, and basically gives you a lot of options in the laning stage. We'll see which one of these options that he decides to go for. Enemy has a very annoying support and carry combination. You've got Lion, and you've got Undying, and you've got Troll Warlord. So it's definitely a very high pressure lane. Let's see how he plays it. The runes are gonna spawn. Bounty Hunter takes a lot of damage trying to trade with Undying. Definitely not something you want to be doing. As you can see, he doesn't even bother trading with Undying here. He doesn't even bother using the ion shell on himself, because you definitely can't go head to head against an Undying. You're just gonna keep stealing your strength, and then your laning stage is gonna be fucked. So he goes ahead and puts the iron shell on the creep itself, because he's gonna get forced out of lane by the 2 heroes here. So if if he had put this on himself, he would need to be near the creeps physically to do the last hitting, and that will put him into even more danger. So at least by putting the iron shell on the creeps, you're gonna let the creeps do the last hitting for you, so you don't have to put yourself in a risky position. Which is, I think, his reasoning for not putting the iron shell on himself, which I think is the right play here. So we got a little bit of pause action going on here. Let's just try to get past that. Alright, so now he's getting pressured really hard. Needs to back out a bit. He has lost 16 strength already, which is brutal. Undying is definitely a very strong laner. Luckily Bounty is... Well, okay, Bounty actually got him. got the carry kill. So that's good, I guess. But notice how he always puts the ion shell on the creep instead of himself, because he knows that in this lane he definitely cannot be the one tanking the creeps and the harass at the same time. Once again, puts it on the creep. You want a creep to be doing the ion shell damage for you. A bit of unfortunate aggro there, so that the creep died to the tower early, but it's still okay. Yeah, you don't want to be putting yourself in harm's way like this. Uses the surge to get out because he was taking way too much damage. Yep. So it's a hard lane. but definitely not impossible. You can just keep putting the Iron Shell on the creeps and let them do the last hitting for you. Put it on your own creeps too, because you want to be doing as much damage to the enemy creep wave as possible. Just keep forcing them to last hit under the tower so that eventually the creep wave will push back into you, like what is happening right now. The enemy range creep survives, so this creep wave will definitely keep shoving into his side, which will give him some free CS, which he definitely would not have gotten. So once again, putting it on the creep. Managed to use up all his mangoes already, so definitely needs to be more conservative with his mana usage. Now he can put it on himself because he has feeling more comfortable right now in this lane, and he also has the creep wave advantage. And also the Bunny Hunter is thinking of making a go in on the Undying. They might actually kill him actually with the damage. Very nice. So finally he can do an aggressive play onto the Undying and also catch this creep wave at the same time. So it's really good play by him. Turns early game hard lane into more or less even lane now with the way he's playing. So I think we covered a lot of things already in the first part. Let's just recap a little bit on what we've seen so far. So we've seen that in a lane where the support is just attacking you relentlessly, like what this Undying is doing, you want to be doing the good old Ion Shell on the creeps trick, on your own creeps that is, and then doing whatever you can to get a last hit that way. You don't want to put it on yourself because you don't want to be the one tanking the damage. And then once you're strong enough with enough levels in Iron Shell and such, you can do what he's doing right now, which is to cut the wave and dive the supports. Although right now he might be in a little bit of trouble. He might choose to stick up and TP out. Or he might just suicide. Alright, so he decides to suicide, but not before dragging these creeps in a giant merry-go-round to delay the creep wave. So what this is going to do, even though it looks like a feat, is actually a very heads-up play by KheZu, because what this allows him to do is to basically delay the creep wave long enough for a huge wave to be sent into this lane. This will happen is his creep wave will get destroyed immediately, and then he'll be able to get a lot of EXP from the double and triple waves that have been backed up over here. You're gonna see this in a second. So we have a shit ton of creeps coming to his tower right now. As you can see, they are right over here. And now he's gonna get like level 5 out of this. Meanwhile, the Undying is still level 3. And I believe the Troll Warlord is level 4. So he's actually getting an EXP advantage by doing all these little things. So Dark Seer is actually very strong in such a in such aspects, because he can pretty much be self-sufficient, you know. You don't have to be trying to stay in the trees to get EXP. You can just bypass the enemies and just farm up the entire wave yourself. So he's just doing it again. I mean, he got Surge to escape. No one can stop you from actually dragging a creep wave like this. We're gonna see how he does it again in a moment. He doesn't want to fight the Undying and the Troll Warlord, because there really isn't any point to do that. Why put yourself in danger in a hard lane and risk getting killed? So he once again goes to the back lines and goes for the creep skip, just to get more of his EXP and last hits uncontested. The troll has to make a choice between last hitting his wave here or chasing after him, and most of the time the carry will always want to just go and last hit the creeps. They're not gonna go after you for stealing their creeps. So it's actually a very effective way to play in the difficult offlane. Just screw the lane. I mean, you don't have to play the enemy's game. You don't want to be at their mercy of dying in the lane. Like, there's really no point hiding the trees getting denied. You want to do plays like these to go around the back and use whatever skills your hero has to cut the wave and get EXP. It doesn't matter if you die, because you're still getting gold, you're still getting EXP. And if you're 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3, this is really the way you need to play. There's really no other option. So right now he is finishing up his Helm of the Dominator, which is a very popular item on Dark Seer and Enigma right now, these pushing oriented offlaners. So right now he's retreated to the NC. He has started to stack for himself before he returns to the lane here. So yeah, so far it's a pretty okay game. Ion shells the Ember and surges him so that he can go after the Razor, who gets shredded by all this magic damage. So it's a very nice rotation by him. He recognizes that there's an opportunity over at the mid lane, and now he surges the NP again. Probably not needed, but just trying to help out in whichever way that he can. Now that he has gotten the levels, he is probably just going to farm the jungle now and give the lane to his bounty, who is in desperate need of his levels. So this is something that you can do as an offlaner as well. Most of the time the mid laner or the carry does this, where they are sufficient in the jungle and they can just go ahead and farm up the NC and let the supports catch up on their levels in the mid lane or the safe lane. But as an offlaner you can do it as well, especially if your other lanes aren't doing too well. You can be the one going in the jungle and then letting your support take the lane. So this is what his team is doing right now for the bounty, because bounty level 6 is very important. It's their entire mid game tempo plan to get a lot of track kills. So we can see that they are just making moves with his dominated creep. Dominated creeps are actually very strong with Ion Shell because their movement speed is set to 425 and they are pretty tanky. So you can actually use this to run people down, give them Ion Shell, and the creeps can actually give you additional utility, like with this Troll's Net and maybe the stun from the Centaur. So these are all very good options. So right now he is just moving around the map, just trying to push down the towers with his team and go for gank attempts. So he goes ahead and nets out the Undying. Probably gonna stick this creep onto him, but apparently the enemy team manages to teleport in a lot of people. Clicks down the tombstone, pulls down the wall, but unfortunately it's a bit too slow with the micro to catch up with the lion, unless he surges the creep. Oh wow, he's actually gonna kill me the creep! Holy shit, wow, that was pretty cool, that was pretty cool. Okay, so he used the Helm of Dom to dominate a range creep, and then he goes to run down the lion with just this one creep and the Ion Shell on it. So you can see like the applications of this item is actually very strong with this hero. Just Ion Shell the creep and get some easy kills on the supports. So that's one way to do it. Definitely get this item, guys. It's good. It's good. Wait until he respawns and see what he does. Okay. Right now he's going for a Crimson Guard because of the Troll and the Razor. Don't want to be taking too much damage from them. Refills the bottle of the Ember Spirit at mid. Probably gonna go look for another creep now with the Helm of Dome. Helm of Dome also helps your team push very quickly because of the attack speed aura. Thinking now it might be pretty good as an item, instead of like Vlads or drums.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Right now they're just focusing on getting bottom. So you can see how fast the Centaur is moving. He still doesn't have boots, so which is pretty interesting. He's opting to rush for the components of the Helm of Dom instead. Helm of Dom rush is actually very strong if you know how to use it well, and also if your hero can use it well, which is in this case. Enigma should definitely rush this item as well. and we can see how effective it is. So it's legit. It's pretty legit. Okay, so they're pressuring bottom. So just a way to safety, it lets this creep do the pushing. This makes Dark Seer very good at pushing because you have like a creep with every wave with Iron Shell on it, and basically it's pretty tanky, so you don't need to worry about putting your own hero at risk. Yeah, definitely it's a very good split pusher in that regard.
Middle tower is under attack.
I mean, with the recent trend of offlaners being split pushing, aura buying heroes, I think Dark Seer is a very solid choice. Right now he's just sending the big tomato over to harass the Undying. You can also use the Helm of Dawn to scout for yourself. Like when you're pushing a lane by yourself, you can just stay in the lane yourself and then use the Dominator creep to scout around or farm up the neutral camps near enemy shrines. So to look out for TPs. So that's very good.
Comforting rune of
Radiant's middle tower is under
It just
attack.
opens up a lot
Middle
of
tower
possibilities
is
for this hero. That's why this item is probably one of the most purchased items on Dark Seer. So right now, after taking tower after tower, they are invading into the enemy jungle, surging the creep once again to be the initiator. Claps the troll one time, and then they're moving out for the lion here. It's a lot of damage with the Iron Shell. Ember might be in trouble though. He has wall. This is a perfect chance to wall. He puts it down there, and suddenly the enemy doesn't really want to chase this. So it's a very good disengaging tool as well. Right now they want to re-engage. Puts the buffs on the Ember again, who sort of wastes his chains on the creep. So that was probably a misplay there. Oh, he actually dodged it with the slide, but still did. And now he himself is in a pretty bad spot. So, no, he's fine, he's fine. Alright, slight misplay by the Ember there, but he definitely had the right idea putting the Iron Shot and the Surge on him. Right now he has 1 point in the ultimate, 1 value point in the vacuum. Pretty normal. Skill build.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh, sorry. Now he's just gonna go back to split pushing, cause his cores are dead, and he's gonna finish up the Crimson Guard just in time for the next push when they respawn. Just gotta keep all the waves pushed in. Very important. Can't stress it enough. Always, always, always be pushing in the waves.
the rune of invisibility.
The seeds of fortune.
Almost has his Crimson Guard here. Yep, so there's something he can do. He sends the Dominator creep over to push in his place because he doesn't want to put his own hero in danger. And it's so effective. I mean, you get the gold. You don't get the experience, but you get the gold. And the wave is pushing in heavily into their T2, forcing a rotation from the Kanka. So this is exactly how you want to play with a Dominator creep.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower
Just the fight is starting. Puts the Iron Shell on the bounty so they can go in for some sneaky rundowns with the Iron Shell. And they managed to get the Razor kill, which is very good. They'll transition this to a tower probably. Iron Shells the Dominator creep again.
is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Iron Shells the Ember so that you can farm the Ancients faster. Alright, and we see them trying to make a move on the Undying here. So just the Ember so that he goes in really fast with the Remnant. and they're just gonna destroy the Undying right here. Very nice. Once you have your items and levels, you definitely want to be pushing with your team, and yeah, just take tower after tower. He also has been ferrying out a lot of clarities for himself, so that he can keep up the mana on his spells. Dark Seer spells definitely cost a lot of mana, 160 for Vacuum, 130 for Ion Shell. So you definitely want to have enough mana at all times, especially since your ultimate is really good for team fighting. Oh, Bounty Hunter gets... Oh, he gets out! Alright, maybe not the best wall, but it was just used to deter the enemy from pushing forward anymore. Probably just a zoning ultimate, I guess. Nature's Prophet gets caught out, dies. He immediately TP's top to take control of a creep, and he's just gonna keep pushing up the top wave. So similar to all the other offlaners that we've seen in our past replays, they are always looking out for waves which are pushing in or need to be pushed, and then TPing there whenever their cores are dead or there's no push happening. You will always want to push out the waves. Very important. So he sends his Dominator creep once again to do the job. Hasn't taken any talents yet, probably because his spells are too good at level 4. So you might want to delay at least your first talent for that. 12% evasion and 90 damage isn't really much when the game is so split push favored. You also definitely want to keep an eye on your Dominator creep, because you don't want to end up feeding it to like the enemy or something. So right now, we've got a huge fight coming in. Mike's initiates a sick vacuum by him to drag in almost all of the enemy team, but he's right in the middle of a bad fight and he gets taken out immediately. So this is a disastrous fight for the Dire, because firstly his ultimate wasn't up at the time, and they didn't go in all together. So that was a very big mistake by his team. He himself probably shouldn't have gone in without the ultimate up. Maybe he thought that the fight wouldn't have started so soon. So in the end he was caught out, and his team lost the fight pretty badly. So we'll just skip back to him respawning, goes back to catch the waves which are pushing in once again. Takes control of the catapult, because this is one of the best creeps that you can use for split pushing. A lot of damage to the tower. Split pushing with the catapult. Probably telling his team that, hey, we're actually pretty strong, let's go fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So he surges the Lifestealer so that they can run down the Razor here. Very nice. Nature Prophet has found the Lion, who dies really fast to an Ion Shelled Ember. Takes control of another range creep. Siege creep. Puts the wall down to trap the troll in, but I think he's gonna walk out just fine. Probably gonna vacuum this. Vacuum. Oh, he got hexed, and he's dead. Oh, okay, that was unfortunate. Definitely should have wanted to vacuum them with a wall, but very questionable wall placement. Maybe he expected his team to all collapse on the troll wallet here, but in the end they were occupied on the high ground over here, fighting the other members of the Radiant team. So I think it's just a standard pub game miscommunication.
Chained in searing heat.
They catch the lion here.
I break your
Right now he's going for the
Radiant's
Greaves.
middle tower is
Very
under
standard
attack.
item build up for Dark Seer. You definitely want to build all these aura items. Goes to farm some more until his team is ready to push again. We need to see at least one wall vacuum, man. Otherwise, this is gonna be a pretty underwhelming replay analysis. But I suppose in a high level game like this, you won't be able to see a lot of like sick 5-man, 4-man vacuums, cause the positioning of the enemy team is always going to be very good. This is not like a low level game by any means, cause I mean they're all immortals. Yep. Don't expect to see. Oh, there we go. We got a wall and a vacuum combo right here. And I think Lifesteal gets searched away from the Razor. Doesn't want to get his damage sucked. They're going after the Razor now. Probably going to Ion Shell the Ember now. Oh, Ember might be dead actually. Oh, he's dead. Okay. So okay, we saw a 2-man wall, which was decent. However, they didn't really have the damage to follow up here. So yeah, they lost the fight again. Very, very unfortunate.
Dire's
Goes
middle
back to
tower
farm.
is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So he goes to depush the mid. These past few fights haven't been going well for his team at all. Let's see how they come back from this. So right now they're moving together into the enemy side. They are pushing down the bottom lane. Now that that's done, he goes back to mid, leaves his dominated creep down at bottom to keep split pushing with the Nature's Prophet. The Aegis has timed out for the troll, so they might feel more comfortable to go for objectives again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So right now he searched in the Centaur, just do a little bit of scouting,
Deceptive rune
and
of
they see the
invisibility.
Troll Warlord retreating there. I guess you can also do this surging of your creeps trick, where you can send it over to another lane very quickly to cut the wave and prevent enemy pushes. So that's something Dark Seer can do as well. Bounty gets deleted by a finger. Yeah, actually it's pretty interesting
Radiant's
to
bottom
use
tower is under
your
attack.
Dominator creep to cut the enemy wave, like what we saw him do at top just now. You can just surge it from one lane to another and use it to delay enemy pushes without putting your own hero in danger. Right now he's still ferrying out clarities for himself. In fact, he's got 2 right here. So staying on top of his mana game.
monster kill.
Radiant are scanning.
He's telling his team to come on, let's go, push in, let's go, let's look for them. Looks like Bounty gets caught again. Definitely not the best
Radiant's bottom
developments.
tower is under attack.
They're just chain feeding at this point, which is not ideal. But luckily the waves are always so pushed in,
Radiant's middle tower
thanks to
is
what he's
under
doing,
attack.
that the enemy can't really capitalize on all these kills to go high ground.
What surge is this?
Everyone is just farming right now. He's just keeping the waves pushed in, trying to get as much farm as possible. He's got his Greaves completed. He wants to go for the 4 stuff, And here we go, puts the wall in the roach pit again to try to deter them from coming in to help the troll, but I think the enemy can still walk in through a gap. So once again, not a very good wall. He's coming in through the other direction. Manages to pull the Razor into the wall, that's nice. The tombstone is down, I think. Seems to be a very drawn out fight. The wall kind of makes it awkward for the enemy team to disengage from the Roche. So I think we're going to see that come into play right now. Goes in, surge up the Lifestealer, surge up the Ember actually. Look at the speed of that Remnant. Alright, nice. Grieves his team to keep them in the fight. Just staying near to the enemy. Okay, not that near though. A vacuum to disengage. Search for himself. Alright, very nice, very nice. And he almost died there, but manages to save himself with the search. And now the Ember is just slowly chipping down the enemy. So just the Lifestealer so they can get in on top of the Troll Warlord, who is almost certainly going to fall here. And it's going to be a team wipe. Very nice. So that was very, very beautiful positioning by him. He played his hero to the absolute limit there. Tried to stay in the fight as long as possible. And kept ion shelling and surging and vacuuming his team. Giving them Greaves, giving them Crimson Guard. So in the end, they managed to out-sustain the enemy team. And now they're moving in for the end game. Another vacuum to bring the Lion out, and Lion is dead. A buyback from the Kanka, although I don't think he's going to do much. All the waves are pushing in right now. I think it's the end for the Radiant. So this is a pretty standard and solid Dark Seer gameplay here. Got a lot of split pushing tips from him. We saw how Helm of Dominator can be used effectively to run people down and cut the crit waves and farm. And we also saw the playstyle for this hero, which is to farm and push with your team whenever everyone is up. Team fighting could have been more flashy, I guess, but I'm pretty sure he did his best in this current game. Definitely not easy in very high rank games to get like 4-man vacuums or something like that. In the end, it was more than enough to win the game. So, very well played by KheZu here. Hope you guys learned something from this replay and encouraged to start picking Dark Seer in your games. Oh my god, there we go, it's a 4-man wall. Alright. PogChamp. His illusions end up killing the... dying there. Is he gonna survive? He's got a lot of armor. He's gonna search himself away. And meanwhile, his illusions are destroying this Kanka right here. And he's gonna run him down. Search himself.
Time to take matters into my own hands.
Oh, he's actually not gonna bother about the Kanka. Alright.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, I wanna see a vacuum. Zzz, there we go. Nice. And there we go. We ended up having a 4-man vacuum. Alright. So, yep, once again, hope you guys learned something from this video. I know I did from this replay. Hope you guys are motivated to start picking up Dark Seer in your off lanes. Definitely is a strong hero to play right now. Hopefully that earns you a lot of MMR. So, yep, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. If you got any recommendations like which player or hero to watch for the next one, you can just let me know in the comments. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.